To find out, we can turn to the evidence coming out of a number of existing projects and programs. In Zambia, 2004 saw the start of a series of pilot projects providing cash transfers to the poorest of the poor, first in Kalomo district and then extended to 4 others: Kazungula, Monze, Katete, and Chipata.
Chipata was found to be one of the districts that was highly affected by poverty, where over 20% of the population were living under or below the poverty datum line. The district in the recent years is seen to be growing gradually. As you enter the district, actually you see people are investing now into building their own houses. There are also small industries that are, mushrooming in the town. But at the same time, again, we are seeing the poverty levels increasing because of some people who are not able to engage themselves into production. So this is where actually we begin to see some households, some individuals being vulnerable.
Kukacha kuseni nupyanga nikapyanga.
In the morning, the first thing I do is to sweep the surrounding. I also sweep my house, then I go to draw water from the well. From there, I prepare food for the school-going children. I prepare porridge for them. And after they have eaten, they go to school. Then I also go to the field where I do some farming. Then in the evening, also I prepare food for the children so that they have supper.
The pilot cash transfer scheme in Chipata is implemented by Zambia's Public Welfare Assistance Scheme with the assistance of Care International. The scheme works with local community welfare assistance committees or QACs. These are made up of volunteers living within the areas. The QACs help to identify the beneficiaries of the scheme, those who are poorest and most vulnerable within the community.
When I receive the transfer, the first thing I do is to buy 2 bags of maize, which I take to the hammer mills to grind into meal. Then I also look into the needs of the children who are going to school. This involves buying books, buying uniforms, and any other fees that the school may be asking for.
Well, the benefits of giving people cash is that they know what to do. Because if I have a problem with school-going chaps and then somebody comes in and gives me food, we'll eat, but they want to go to school. But then if I'm given cash, we'll budget, we'll share some money to school and a bit of some food, yes.
The Chipata pilot illustrates some of the benefits of cash transfers. Beneficiaries have been able to improve their levels of nutrition. Self-esteem improves as people are able to pay back loans and invest in assets. And education levels increase as families can afford to keep children in school. The Chipata scheme, in fact, includes a bonus to assist those with school-going children.
I still see so many people that when I look at them, I feel pity. But registration was only done once, and we cannot add any more beneficiaries.
When we started interacting with the beneficiaries, it was very clear that these people were living on begging. Begging from neighbors, begging from streets, begging from shops as a way of earning a livelihood. Most of the children that they are keeping were not going to school because the parents could not afford, and also because there was no food that the children should go happily at school. Also, children were involved in trading. because they could do anything that could help them earn a living. With the coming of the social cash transfer, we have seen actually an increased number of these children who are involved in training going back to school. Their uniforms are in good condition. Some of them who didn't have uniforms, now they have uniforms. They look cleaner. Their faces also look bright. That's one thing that you can see as you interact with them. The parents also look very confident as you interact with them. We find they are so confident actually.
Many have actually resorted to investing that money into farming by buying a bit of some fertilizers so that people can help them do the farming for future use.
In Mozambique, since 1997, the government has been implementing the PSA Food Subsidy Program, which is in fact a cash transfer program. This program is operated by the National Institute for Social Action under the Ministry of Women and Social Action.
Em Moçambique, nós temos a proteção social como uma das prioridades para a redução da pobreza em toda a nossa sociedade. Por isso é que o governo aprovou, levou à Assembleia da República e foi aprovada a Lei de Proteção Social.
The PSA in Mozambique has over 100,000 beneficiaries. These people are identified within the community by volunteers called permanentes.
Como que esses beneficiários são identificados? O permanente, que é selecionado pelas estruturas do próprio bairro, e de confiança da própria estrutura local, tem a tarefa de fazer aquilo que chamamos de visitas domiciliares, onde de casa em casa vai procurar a informação daqueles que nós consideramos os potenciais beneficiários, que são os idosos, os portadores de deficiência, os doentes crônicos, entre outros que devem ser assistidos pelo programa Subsídio de Alimento.
Ele malembe lawa kungani swaku ina kumpfula swa huma swifaki ku swa hi kuma ma mpfula yini.
The Lesotho Old Age Pension is an example of a national program with universal coverage. In 2004, Lesotho's finance minister introduced an old age pension for all citizens over 70 years old.
We are now transferring on a monthly basis an amount of about 15 million maluti, which is equivalent of 15 million rands. There is no external funding, it is purely from domestic resources. When we started in November 2004, we had about 64,000 old age pensioners. But currently they have now increased to 77,000.
Wala mali gay
72
e fitile ngwa mwezi bugai
150
baizo twa mala gay onachi
hona mo
baizo twa mala bugai
200
baizo 200.
The introduction of the old age pension in Lesotho went against advice from donor countries and the international financial institutions. They said Lesotho couldn't afford to introduce a pension and that it didn't make economic sense. But today, 4 years down the line, the Lesotho old age pension is seen as a success, although at 70, the age for eligibility is high. While the number of individual beneficiaries may be small, research shows that a quarter of all households actually benefit from the pension.